Alright, what's going on everybody? This is Sam from Zero Bet. In this video I'll be doing the lock of the night and top 2 parlay discussion as part of the Patreon $5 tiers for UFC on ESPN 29, Gastelum versus Cannonier. If you're seeing this for Patreon, I appreciate your support, guys. Because of you guys we keep this channel running. I'll be adding actually to a prior video that I made that I was discussing as an early release, this lock of the night top 2 parlays. But many fights got cancelled there, and I said in that video myself that I would come back after the weightings to confirm some stuff. So let's get into it, guys. I'll also be breaking down real quick one of the last fight that has been added, which is Kakhramonov versus Trevin Jones, as I didn't break this down before because it has been a late addition. So let me get into that first, then I'll be going through the discussions on the lock of the night. So just to be honest with you guys, I don't have the lock of the night for this card. I don't feel super confident on anybody, so just not gonna say any name just for the sake of saying, but I do have some discussions I think gonna be interesting for you guys. So just a real quick, some thoughts on Kakhramonov versus Trevin Jones. This is a good fight, guys. It's a high level fight. I like both of these guys as fighters. Trevin Jones, he's a powerful, long, athletic guy. He's not that tall for a bantamweight and everything, but you can tell that the guy is very powerful and athletic. He puts guys out with his power shots. He's fairly rounded. He can do a little bit of everything, but he's the best, and he can crack opponents when they come in, when they leave their openings. He finds those left hooks, those straight punches, and he's dangerous. Now, Kakhramonov, this guy is a good fighter himself. To me, unfortunately, I could only see his bout against Usman Nurmagomedov. So that bout he performed pretty well. He showed wrestling, he showed good hands. He's a tough guy to hit. Young, hungry. So it's a tough one to call. I'm going with Jones here just because Said Yakub is taking this one in short notice. Trevin Jones has improved himself a little bit. He's the more physical guy for this bout, But to be honest with you guys, I'm going mostly with Jones just because of the short notice for Said Yakub, But Jones has problems, My problem with Jones is he waits too much, which is his style. So he needs a guy that pushes forward on him for him to be able to excel in a fight. And he can be out wrestled, and this guy is a good wrestler, Said Yakub. But again, I haven't seen much from him, so it's tough for me to judge and say, okay, this guy can implement his wrestling game and out wrestle Jones. So to me, it's quite difficult to tell that. So that's why I'm going with Jones, but I'm not going to be betting this one. All right. So that's the comments that I have on this fight, and on the top of the parlay discussion, the lock of the night and parlay discussion. So this is basically what I'm considering as, let's put it, the safest bet, and obviously I have the disclaimer here, feel free to read. This is just the way I'm considering things, so just take this with your full responsibility, right? So what I have as of now, guys, I would say that Maleki, maybe makes sense to bet Maleki just because of what I said before. So if you're seeing this, if you're part of my Patreon $5 tiers, I'm betting Maleki. I'm not gonna repeat that here, but it's slightly tricky because Josiane, she has power, and she can land leg kicks, which worries me a little bit, but still I think the values on Maleki, even at minus 150, when I took the bet on her, I took it minus 120, so she's minus 150 now. Still there's some value there, so let's put it that from 100, I would put 15 on her. Kelleher at minus 200, maybe it's the strongest pick here is Kelleher, but the problem that he's fighting Pilarte, he's a tall, long guy, I told in the other video that Kelleher has a bad tendency of giving his back while standing, so I'm a little bit worried about that. Plus the lens and Kelleher, he's more like a brawler inside of the cage. Technical brawler, puts pressure on guys. That's the style to beat Pilarte. That's why I'm confident on Kelleher, but it's not that. So it's the strongest pick, but it's not a lock or something. All right. So from 100, I'm throwing 30 there. I'm putting a parlay here, Maleki plus Kelleher. That would add a little bit extra. If you multiply these two things, I made the multiplication here, but if you multiply these odds, you would get, yeah, plus 140, you know, with this parlay. So it's a pretty interesting one, you know. So, but again, an extra risk here, so it's going from 160% on this combo here. It's quite dangerous, okay, but either way, that's how I see it. And this actually is an interesting prop: Cherant versus Knight under 2.5 rounds. This is at minus 150, which I think is a great line, you know. So you could split this into 50-50 even, you know, because I like this line a little bit. I think this is gonna end pretty quickly, you know. I expect this ending in the first round, but if not, I'm really confident that it's gonna end on the second. So that's why this under 2.5 to me makes sense, right? So this is a good one in my opinion. Okay, so if everything cashes, you would get you know, 138 bucks profit from 100, which has a good chance to cash all of this, right? If one of them lose, let's say Maleki loses here, then I actually would have to put the count here, but it would be more or less you would have 45 here, you know, 15 profit, and from here you would have I'm just making by my head here, guys. You would make 60 coming back here, 20 to 15, 20, 25, you know, and plus, yeah, I would have even a small loss if one of these people lose. You would have a loss anyway, you know, but there's a decent chance that all of them cash, you know. If you want to be a little bit more careful here, maybe not make these parlays for a little bit, like 20 here, maybe 35 here, and you know, the other 5 here, you know, that's maybe would be a little bit more safe if you're don't want to risk, you know, not to have any profits if one of these loses. All right, so this is just a discussion to you guys. So just to explain why, you know, like Fabio Cherant, I was taking a look at this record, you know, but this guy has some finishes in his record, obviously, you know, and these decisions that he has is pretty weird. This fight I couldn't find, but against Myron Dennis, this was a pretty slow-paced fight, you know. So Cherant is not a guy that can keep up too much, you know. He's powerful, as you can see by his physical, you know, skills, but he doesn't have a strong output. So he either puts guys out or he gets put out, you know. He's fighting a physical guy in William Knight, you know. I know that he has 2 decisions in the UFC, you know, but I think this one, he either gets finished or he finishes Cherant. I think he finishes Cherant, you know. So it's I think we'll see Knight getting inside, you know, taking Cherant down and just hammering him until the finish, something like that, right? So I pull up the stats a little bit here so you guys can see, you know. William Knight doesn't get hit not so much, just because he shoots a lot, you know, and he also uses lots of clinch, you know. But again, I think the biggest difference here, guys, is the pace and the output, you know. Like, I'm gonna repeat this: Cherant doesn't have a strong output, you know, and look at these stats that he has. He basically got hit very a lot in this fight, you know. In the other one, he got finished pretty quickly. So this is a little bit distorted, skewed, but either way, this is most likely gonna finish inside of the distance, right? So guys, I hope you guys appreciate this discussion. I'm making this open in YouTube just so more people can see at least this type of discussion. So just real quick to touch the props and what I saw in the weighting. So actually, I was tempted to bet Brahima. I have some bets on him. I'm sure part of my Patreon $50 tiers. Here I have a bet on Brahima, a small one, you know, but I didn't like too much what I've seen on the weightings. Palatnikov is so much taller than him. I was not you know, anticipated that. I was thinking Palatnikov was like, they were about the same height, or Palatnikov 1 or 2 inches maximum, you know, but look at like a big discrepancy there. I didn't like this too much, so I'll be passing on Brahima, even though I think he can finish Palatnikov. This one is a tricky one, you know. Mahamondes and Roberts could finish inside of the distance, could go the distance, most likely goes the distance, you know. As a dog, I would bet Mahamondes by decision maybe, but again, it's a tricky one here. Cherant and William Knight, we discussed already, the under 2.5. Malek and Josiane Nunes, also another tricky one, you know, because they could finish each other, it could go the distance, you know, kind of 50-50 there. Pilar and Kelleher, I think Kelleher finishes inside of the distance, but there's not too much value there, you know. If I remember correctly, we can open this one up. Southern another tricky one in my opinion. I'm passing this one. Pantoja and Royval inside of the distance, you know. Actually, let's take a look on this one because I forgot to check. Pantoja and Royval inside of the distance. Let's see. Yeah, you see, guys, it's not so much, you know, plus 120, it's not worth it for me, you know. They could go the distance, you know, even though Pantoja has more chance to finish him. Let's see Pantoja inside of the distance. Pantoja, TKO. Pantoja, decision, where is it? I never find these things when I want inside of this plus 200. Yeah, not that bad, but kind of tricky. Maybe there's some small value there if you want to take a shot. Pichel and Hubbard. Pichel by decision, it's not a bad one. You know, if you want to diversify a little bit what I explained there. I have Pichel winning this one, despite the age and whatnot. You know, Pichel by decision, I think I saw it plus 170, plus 150, you know. Good one. You know, I think he wins that like 60% and, you know, almost all the time by decision. Trevin Jones and Kakhramonov, I broke it down. I'm not going to value this one. Cherant, Porter, another tricky one. Could finish, could go the distance. Guida, no Madsen. I'm picking Guida by decision. Plus 200 on him by decision. I don't like that too much, you know, because I'm not confident on Guida, you know. Maybe Guida inside of the distance, because I didn't like much what I've seen from Madsen after he could not impose his wrestling. Guida is a physical guy, he has the cardio here, you know. So Guida inside of the distance at plus 400, it's interesting. I may take this one myself. Guida TKO plus 700, this is definitely interesting because there's a decent chance there, you know. So yeah, probably from this two, this is a little bit better, but yeah, because Guida being able to finish on an arm triangle or something sounds less likely, even though there's some chance. Yeah. So this, I would put more money here and a little bit here, you know. So this is also not a bad one. And the Cannonier and Gastelum, not so much value in Gastelum by decision plus 200. I don't like that because I think Cannonier wins and Cannonier can finish Gastelum by TKO and whatnot, you know. So yeah, I think this one I'm also passing. So that's basically it, guys. As I told you guys, I don't have anything super confident here. I'm putting some money on some stuff, but really small, you know. Despite this one, I think from everything that I have, this is this parlay that I have a little bit more money, and this one most definitely the one of the best. And as we spoke about, maybe a little bit on Guida by TKO in finish, you know, just a little bit of a, not a long shot. It's quite difficult to predict. Madsen can basically just out wrestle, or even Madsen finish Guida on that arm triangle or something, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna take a shot on Guida here. And also, what we said? Yeah, Pichel by decision plus 150, small value there. Alright, so guys, I hope you liked this video. If you do, please like, subscribe, share with your friend, consider supporting the channel in the future. And in the next video, I can show you guys the rest of the tiers. Alright, so this was just a quick one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like, please like, subscribe. Sam from Slaughter Bet, bring the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.